Hey there, I'm Nige. This is Pure Coys. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Please do me a favour, please like, please subscribe. It would mean the world. Tottenham 4, Everton nil. First home win of the season in our first home game. And hey, two games unbeaten. What's the problem? Let's get into the game. Spurs winning, like I say, by 4 goals to nil. We didn't really even need to get out of second gear, I don't think. It was such a comfortable performance. Let's look at the team for the game. It was Vicario in goal with Porro, Romero, Van der Ven, and Udogi. No real surprise in that back five, I don't think. The surprise for me come into the midfield where Basuma was back in and Madison and Kulu almost playing as a double pivot number 10. I thought it worked really well, and I think we will adopt that tactic against a lot of the lower half Premier League sides this year, especially at home. And then the front three was Johnson on the right, Odegaard on the left making his debut, and Sonny, the skipper, playing through the middle. So, as I say, a really good performance. First half, I thought Tottenham were brilliant. I don't think we needed to get out of second gear, as I said, but it's so nice to see Spurs start a game and really go at the opponent. That's 2 games in a row now. Leicester, we went at them, should have buried the game. Everton, we went at them, and by half time, we had buried the game. The game was done. No way Everton were coming back into it. I mean, Everton were poor. It was as poor a performance as I've seen from an Everton side for a long time. They had a lot of injuries. You can only beat what's in front of you, and Spurs did that. They took Everton to the sword. They were clinical. They were ruthless. But even that, saying that, they missed a lot of chances as well. By the way, Spurs. Pickford made 2 or 3 good saves, and that we could have been 5 up by half time. Sonny had a shot deflected. It was saved. Romero should have done better when he was inside the box, shot straight at Pickford. We had Johnson that flashed a header wide. We had a beautiful ball from Romero that put Madison in, and he was 1-on-1 with Pickford. Pickford again made a good save. Madison probably should have done better. And then, of course, the 2 goals. So we really did dominate the game. First goal come from really good work from Kulusevski, who I thought was fantastic. Laid the ball off, and Basuma back in the side, smashing the ball in off the underside of the bar to put Spurs 1-0 up. Apologising to fans in the celebration. I think Basuma, brilliant. He couldn't have asked for more, could he? Comes back into the side, scores a goal. The fans are back on side. No doubt the manager's back on side as well. Everything's forgotten, you know, everything's forgotten. Just come back and play like that every week, Biss. And we are happy. Second goal come from a really sloppy bit of goalkeeping from England's number one keeper, dilly-dallying on the ball and Sonny nipping in, taking the ball off him and sliding the ball into the empty net for 2-0. As soon as that goal went in, the game was done for me. It's not often as a Spurs fan, and I've been a Spurs fan for a long time, when you can sit back and totally relax and think there's no way Everton are getting back into this game. As a Spurs fan, I can remember sitting now in the 90th minute, in the 91st minute at 3-0 up and thinking, oh, if the opponents get one, you never know. But we were so comfortable and the game was done at 2-0. Odegaard, I thought, had a really good debut, by the way. I thought he did everything we want in a winger. Everything that we've been crying out for Johnson to do, Odegaard did in the first half. He got the ball, he drove it as winger, he took him on. Didn't always win. I think Dixon, the young lad who played for Everton, he had a really good debut. He played really well, and he is lightning quick as well. So it was a really good match to match. It was really good head up between those two. And I wouldn't say either of them won, but Odegaard played really well first half. Tired second half and got replaced. But yeah, really pleasing debut and exactly what you want to see from a winger. Second half, Spurs cruised. Again, didn't really need to get out of second or third gear. Romero's header, absolute bullet from a corner, powered his way past 2 defenders to win it. It's exactly what we want. Romero, I thought, was brilliant. Give the ball away a couple of times, first 10 minutes, but grew into the game. Real leader, a real presence. and that goal effectively killed the game totally. Romero last season was the Premier League top defensive goal scorer with 5. 2 games in, he's already got his first. Wouldn't surprise me at all if he gets another 5 or 6 this season. And then the 4th goal was just the icing on the cake, and Van der Ven is a beautiful man. Nothing more I can say. He is my favourite Spurs player, and I think the best signing Tottenham have made in the last 7 or 8 years, without a doubt. I think the last signings we made that would kind of rival that would be Alderweireld and Wanyama. Wanyama was a brilliant defensive midfielder, and Alderweireld, another Tottenham legend. But yeah, Van der Ven, absolutely brilliant. Runs 3/4 the length of the pitch after intercepting the ball himself, laying it off to Sonny for the 4th. Yeah, he's just such a beautiful defender. He's got absolutely everything, and we need to keep him for as long as we can. We need to enjoy every single minute he plays for Spurs, because I hate to say it, if he keeps playing this way, the biggest clubs in Europe will be circling, and we either need to start winning things quickly, or we need to tie him down to a really, really long contract, paying him whatever he wants, because he is brilliant. I love Van der Ven. Nothing more. I just love him. And I thought Maddison had a really good game as well. A lot of people giving him stick, say he wasn't that good. I thought he did well. I thought he did everything you want from your attacking midfielder. He dictated the game in the first half. Everything kind of went through him. Um, but unlucky with a free kick. I think, yeah, he needs to get his ranges and score. And he could have had a couple of goals on another day. Maybe he would have, but he always showed for the ball. He always wanted it. And for me, I think Maddison is slowly starting to get back to his best. Other than that, I'm trying to think of other players. Udogie and Porro did a lot better. Udogie was really off it on Monday night, which is expected because he hasn't had a pre-season. He looked rusty, looked a lot better yesterday, a lot more assured. Other than that, yeah, just a really good, solid performance. Exactly what you want to see for your first home game. Tottenham didn't get out of third gear. They didn't need to, which is perfect. Everyone played well. I don't think anyone played okay. Okay, we need to talk about Brennan Johnson, I guess. I feel sorry for him. I really do. I don't want to be one of these people that come out and slam players. He really seems to me like he's a confidence player, and when his confidence is shot, and I think his confidence is shot, I think he needs to be taken out of the limelight and put on the bench for a little bit. And this is nothing against him. He didn't ask to be a £50 million player. He wasn't the one who said, "I'm worth £50 million, play me." Pay the money and get me in at Tottenham. That's what Spurs did, and I think maybe the pressure is getting to him a bit. He was he was pretty woeful against Leicester, but again, I think, and this is it with Johnson, and I gotta say it, I think against Leicester, I think the first 20 minutes, 25 minutes even, I thought he played really well. He was unlucky not to score a couple, and then there was one thing that happened when he had the length of the pitch to run in, and instead of going for it, he turned back and he tripped over the ball, and from then on, he was absolute pony. And I think almost kind of the same thing happened yesterday. I think the first half, he didn't look brilliant, but he didn't look bad either. There's not a lot he did wrong. He worked hard. He won the ball. He played it off. He didn't really lose the ball. He just didn't do a lot with it when he had it. But then the second half, there was a moment when the ball was sprayed out to him and he was away. He was absolutely away, and Spurs were on the break. And I can remember thinking when the ball's, go on, Johnson, run at him. And before I'd even got the chance to get that out of my mouth, the ball had gone under his foot and out for a throw in. And you could see in his body language, he was like, "Oh my God, I am so rubbish." And from then on, he did absolutely nothing. For me, then, I would have given it 5 minutes, and then Postecoglou should have taken him off and replaced him, and maybe even put Kulu out on the right. I'm not quite sure why Kulu was taken off, because I thought he was having a really good game. Maybe he had a slight knock, but I personally would have took Johnson off, put Kulu on the right, and then that would have negated that. I worry about Johnson. Um, he's not that young anymore, but he is for me a real confidence player. You can see it in his face that he's struggling a bit. And for me, I think he needs to be taken out of the limelight. I think this is where Ange will show his management skills, because when a player's not performing and he knows he's not performing, you can see it. Like I say, you can see it in his face that he's not performing. He is trying too hard at the moment. And he may not be good enough. He may not have the skill set that we need. But as I've said, he has never said he's a 50. It's not his fault that we paid £50 million for him. But there's no doubt he's struggling. And for me, he needs to be taken out of the limelight, put on the bench for a couple of weeks. We have enough attacking options that we can do that. But we will see. Other than that, really good, solid home performance. Nothing to complain about at all. Tottenham were fantastic, did exactly what they had to do. So I'm happy. We've won the game 4-0. We haven't lost yet this season. So it was a good start after last Monday when it was like doom and gloom. Oh no. Yesterday's game was massive. We had to win. We did. We did it convincingly. So nothing to complain about at all. I'm a happy Spurs fan today. I can relax, watch Sunday's games with my feet up and a beer, knowing that we are 4 points out of 6. But that's it for me. Join me on my next video. I will be doing a Newcastle preview later on in the week. And also, I will be on Tottenham on tour on Wednesday evening at 6 o'clock with the YouTube royalty that is Brian Daigle. So please join me for that. I'm really looking forward to getting on the show and talking Tottenham with Brian. He knows his stuff, and it'd be good to be on. So yeah, anyway, that's it for me. Join me on my next video. And for me, come on, you Spurs.